I figure out which mic works. This is the one that works, right? You guys can hear me? I can take it off if I want to wander around like a motivational speaker. I'm going to tell you how to overcome the Alex Trebeks in your lives. How much should I bet on my Daily Double? Thank you for coming out. I'd like to thank the Margaret Mitchell House for putting together this great event and for sponsors who made it possible. And thanks to you guys for showing up. I hope you have a good time here tonight. I'm on a book tour promoting Ken Jennings' Trivia Almanac, and I regret many things about this now. I regret the extra apostrophe S after Ken Jennings. Does it bother you the way it bothers me? It shouldn't be Ken Jennings'. Apparently, this was a big battle with my publisher. I didn't want the apostrophe S. They did, and they insisted. According to the Chicago Manual of Style, only one person gets just an apostrophe after his name, and that's Jesus. So, unless you are the Son of God, your trivia book will have S apostrophe S. Apparently. But I also regret that the title has my name in it, because now when I talk about it, this is Ken Jennings' Trivia Almanac. I sound like one of these guys who talks about himself in the third person, you know. Hey, Ken Jennings likes trivia. Ken Jennings wrote a trivia book. 8,888 questions in 365 days. The idea to write this kind of trivia book came to me. I spent most of 2005 working on a book called Brainiac about American trivia culture, and I was hanging out with trivia people just 24/7. You know, I had been a trivia fan as a kid, but you realize at some point in your life that it is not a hit with girls to know Captain Kirk's middle name. And at that point, I sort of went in the trivia closet. You know, I did not want to be one of these know-it-all types. And that's one of the things I like about Jeopardy is that you know, I was outed as a trivia nerd in front of a national audience. I can never again be in the trivia closet. And I was hanging out with these trivia people all the time, and you know, I started to think like one of them. You know, I started to return to my trivia-loving roots, I guess, and I was just seeing trivia everywhere I looked. You know, I'd walk down the street and I'd see an Olive Garden restaurant, and I'd think, wow, the fruit in the Olive Garden logo is not an olive. You know, you know, and I would, does anybody know what it is? What fruit's in the Olive Garden logo? Grapes. Very nice. And I would think to myself, well, that could be a trivia question someday. You know. It's like the opposite of the Kinsey report. I was thinking about trivia every 7 seconds. This is the story I tell in the introduction to the book. Even when my wife was giving birth to our daughter, who's now 1 year old, the nurse was saying something about how the labor contractions were so many Montevideo units. And for some reason, I thought this was fascinating. Yeah, the intensity of labor contractions is measured in units named for the capital of Uruguay. And I thought, you know, I thought this was great. And my wife's like, Ken, focus. We're having a baby. Enough with the trivia. At the same time, on my website, I was sending out a trivia quiz every week, every Tuesday, to about 9,000 subscribers. Any of you guys in here get the Tuesday trivia? Yay! A few Tuesday trivia people. The rest of you, what's wrong with you? Ken-Jennings.com. And people seem to like having this little hit of trivia every Tuesday morning. You know, just 7 questions, the start of the workday, something to, you know, get your brain jump-started while your coffee's still kicking in, I guess. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if people could have that kind of, you know, little morning trivia hit instead of just once a week, you know, every day out of the year. And that was the impetus for sort of the day calendar format of the Trivia Almanac. You know, it's like a farmer's almanac, except, you know, it's got sort of quirky historical events instead of the weather. You know, for January 22nd, you know, you guys probably didn't celebrate this, but this January 22nd was the, let me see, 755th anniversary of Henry III creating Scarborough Fair. He granted the charter for the fair at Scarborough. And so, and you guys probably celebrated that, right? Simon and Garfunkel-shaped piñata every January 22nd. And, you know, and because of that, then there follows some trivia questions that are sort of vaguely themed to whatever the oddball anniversary is. And in this case, it's trivia about parsley, sage, people named Rosemary, and Time magazine. And so that was sort of the format of the book, you know. And that was the idea, that people could have a little hit of trivia you know, every morning, and you know, set it on the back of your toilet or whatever. Just not the kind of book you might want to read cover to cover, although I have seen people here tonight who have, apparently. And then that's what trivia is good for. You know, it's fun. It's facts that really have no useful purpose, and I think that's the main appeal of them. You know, nobody's ever going to ask you on a job interview or on a standardized test, you know, what Indiana Jones' real first name is, or what the most populous, Henry, very good, or what the most populous city in the southern hemisphere is. Sao Paulo, I think, yes. Sao Paulo is correct. You know, this is not useful information, and those are like the useful end of the trivia spectrum. You know, it just gets weirder from there. but none of this stuff's ever going to come up in real life. But it gives you joy, to know, for example, that koala bears have fingerprints that are identical to human fingerprints. That's nothing that's ever going to come up usefully in your life unless you're some kind of koala master criminal or possibly a human master criminal looking to frame a koala, I guess. But there's just something beautiful about it. It makes you want to know more about that subject. It reminds you that the universe is actually, a much stranger and more beautiful place than we give it credit for. So that's my pitch. Trivia is a wonderful thing. It's not trivial at all. It's good to know a little bit about a lot of things about the world we live in. And I guess we're going to see tonight if you folks are among those people. Let me see. I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take a couple seconds to see if you guys have questions for me before I start asking questions for you. We'll do a little tiny brief Q&A because, if anybody wants to ask me what Alex Trebek is really like, I have not yet answered that question ever in my life. So, yes, sir. Am I taking over for Alex? Alex has a very cushy job. He works, 3 or 4 days out of the month, comes in for the afternoon, leaves as soon as the Lakers game starts, pretty much. That's a nice job, and I'm sure he gets a lot of money. Alex is the franchise. They sort of have to pay that guy. I would love to have his job. I don't think being a candidate on Jeopardy necessarily, they don't promote from within. Let's put it that way. I don't know if I'd be their first call, but I'd love it. I'd love it. Any other questions? Have I had my normal day job? I was a computer programmer before I went on the show. Not very good at it, and not very happy at it, actually. I was an English major in college and always wanted to write or teach. Somebody told me the joke, what's the difference between an English major and a large pepperoni pizza? Well, at least a large pizza can feed a family of 4. And for that reason, I added computer science as a second major, and it took up programming. When there was interest in me writing a book after Jeopardy, I was very grateful for the opportunity. I kept the job as long as I could. I quit only when I got the deal to write Brainiac because it was looking like there was going to be a lot of, reportage involved, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do both jobs. So at that point, I left my software job, and I've been writing full-time since then, and I love it. It's as great as I thought it would be. I can work in my pajamas. I get to see more of my kids. I work from home. It's been nice. So I plan to continue to write and only program if something catastrophic happens. Yes, sir.
What will your next book be?
What will my next book will be? It will not be trivia. Writing 9,000 questions sort of burned me out a bit. I thought there was nobody who loved trivia more than me. But you guys try writing 9,000 questions in just under a year, and it may do you too. It was a bit of a trivia death march. It will be on something sort of geek culture related. It will sort of be a narrative book like Brainiac. I have 2 topics I'm sort of tossing around. I'm sort of afraid to actually write a proposal because, you might take them if I told you what they are. These could be genius multi-million-dollar ideas. They're not, but what if they were? I'm afraid to actually write up the proposal because somebody might actually make me write the book in that case, and I'm a little bit lazy. But sometime in the spring, I'll be writing up a proposal for another Brainiac-like book. Yeah, there's a hand up there. How did I prepare for Jeopardy? This is a story I've told before. They called me and said, you're going to be on in 3 weeks, and I panicked. I realized that in my market, at least, you could watch Jeopardy 12 times a week if you were so inclined, between the reruns and the Game Show Network and stuff. So I would tape Jeopardy. I would watch it 12 times a week. I would watch it standing behind my recliner at home, pretending it was a Jeopardy podium. I stole from my son, who was then 2 years old, one of these Fisher-Price ring stacking toys with the colored donuts. You guys know what I mean? I took off the donuts and sort of used it as a makeshift buzzer. So I'd be, poised behind my lazy boy at home, jamming my finger up and down on a toddler toy. And it's probably about as dorky as I have ever felt. But it actually worked. My wife kept score for me. She was very patient with my, dementia. And she actually made flashcards for me so she could quiz me on the things that Jeopardy often asks about, world capitals and U.S. presidents, and the things that always come up. Potent potables, in my case. I don't drink, and Jeopardy always asks about the cocktail, so we would make flashcards where, on the back it says, vodka, orange juice, Galliano, and on the front it says Harvey Wallbanger, and that's all we did was talk about, the presidency and cocktails for 3 weeks straight. It was just like going to college with George W. Bush, but it worked, I guess it all worked, so I can't really complain. One more question, if any, and then we'll start. Yeah, right there. Favorite subject, like for trivia? I'm a big movie guy, huge movie buff. Wasted, way too many weeks of my life probably watching movies. So if there was movies on the board, I would go there first. If not, I don't know, books, TV, things that are like movies, The things you do when you can't get movies, like read. Okay, we're going to begin. Our first round is general knowledge. You can go ahead and put your team number and name down on your first answer sheet. I think these are going to start easy. Is that the idea? It may get a little harder throughout the evening. We shall see. We may make allowances based on how easy or hard they turn out to be. Our first question. Cats from the Isle of Man are often missing what anatomical feature? Cats from the Isle of Man are often missing what anatomical feature? Question number 2. Do you guys want to do a count each time and let me know if you have them all? Or I think people can self-report. Question 2. What actress's 2004 death was observed with 15 minutes of darkness from the lights of the Empire State Building? What actress's 2004 death was observed with 15 minutes of of darkness from the lights of the Empire State Building? Okay, we're gonna recap answers after each question apparently. So the answer to number 1, cats from the Isle of Man are Manx cats, and they are missing their tails. Yes. The actress associated with the Empire State Building was Fay Wray of King Kong fame. Question number 3. Question 3. What U.S. state has the British Union Jack on its state flag? What U.S. state has the British Union Jack on its state flag? The answer to question 3, the only U.S. state with the British Union Jack on its state flag is Hawaii. Very nice. Yeah, let's hear it for Hawaii. Question 4. Question 4. Who's the only woman ever to slam dunk the ball in a WNBA game? Who is the only woman ever to slam dunk the ball in a WNBA game? All right, the answer to question 4. Who is the only woman ever to slam dunk the ball in a WNBA game? You guys have this? Anybody? Is it Lisa Leslie? Correct. And the crowd goes wild. Here's our bonus question. An Englishman does not wear braces on his teeth. What are braces in the United Kingdom? An Englishman does not wear braces on his teeth. What are braces in the United Kingdom? Okay. Does anybody mean to turn it in still? Because you've sort of missed your chance. Anyone? Anyone? Last chance. The answer to question 5, an Englishman does not wear braces on his teeth. That's because braces are suspenders. Yeah. When I read the question, I could hear that like around the room. Here we go. Question 1. A 1977 episode of what sitcom spawned the phrase "jump the shark"? A 1977 episode of what sitcom spawned the phrase "jump the shark"? The answer, a 1977 episode of what sitcom spawned the phrase "jump the shark"? The answer is Happy Days. That's right. Fonzie on water skis. There isn't something to give you nightmares. Fonzie on water skis. Question 2. What has been the most popular name for American baby girls for the last 10 years running? What has been the most popular name for American baby girls for the last 10 years running? Right here, right here, right here. Okay, we're done. The answer, let's see, the most popular name for American baby girls for the last 10 years running is Emily. Emily. Question 3. This one requires no offspring. Question 3. Who were Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde? Who were Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde? Okay, the answer to number 3. Who were Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde? They were, of course, the ghosts in Pac-Man. The ghosts in Pac-Man. You're not supposed to cheer for them. They're the bad guys. Can I do the next one, you think? Question four. Question four. In Shakespeare's play, Hamlet gets his two best college buddies hanged. What a guy. What are their names? In Shakespeare's play, Hamlet gets his two best college buddies hanged. What are their names? All right, the answer to question four. In Shakespeare's play, Hamlet gets his two best college buddies hanged. They are named Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Correct. Are dead. They are, in fact, dead. And here's our bonus question. Remember to wager only as sure as you are of the answer. And I'm going to make this even harder than it is here because I'm feeling mean. The horse that gets its head cut off in The Godfather is named for what African capital city? The horse that gets its head cut off in The Godfather is named for what African capital city? The answer number five, the horse gets his head cut off in The Godfather is named for the capital of the Sudan, Khartoum. Khartoum. I think only two happy tables here, it sounds like. Oh, right here, number three. Hey. You guys need to raise the roof a little bit. You guys are acting like you got it wrong up there. What late-breaking news story kicked Dumbo off the cover of Time magazine just 6 weeks after the elephant cartoon's release? Okay, I'm going to read the answer. Who still got it? Who's still sitting on it? Last chance. Okay, the answer, Dumbo was kicked off the cover of Time magazine. It would help if you knew that Dumbo came out in the fall of 1941. The answer is Pearl Harbor. Let's hear it for Pearl Harbor. I'm ashamed of you people. I'm ashamed to be an American right now. Congratulations if you got it. Question number two. Question number two. What White Stripes hit off of their album Elephant is titled after singer Jack White's childhood name for a famous religious organization? That's a mouthful. One more time. What White Stripes hit off their album Elephant is titled after singer Jack White's childhood name for a famous religious organization? All right, we all in? The song, I don't know if anybody likes the White Stripes but me. The song is called, anybody know this? Seven Nation Army, that's right. It's very nice. He thought the Salvation Army was called the Seven Nation Army, you see. Because he's not so bright. Question three. More elephant stuff. Question three. Who married his own cousin Celeste in an elaborate 1931 ceremony? Who married his own cousin Celeste in an elaborate 1931 ceremony? These may be easier if you keep the theme in mind. The answer to number three. The one who married his own cousin, 1931. Are you guys are turned in? Okay. 1931 is Babar. Yeah, everybody loves French children's books about elephants. Let's hear it for our sponsors, Midtown Community Bank. Woo! Question four. Question 4. What word, well, this gets quiet after I talk. What word comes to us from the Greek for thick-skinned? What word comes to us from the Greek for thick-skinned? The answer, the word, which is the Greek for thick-skinned, is pachyderm. Yes. Elephants are pachyderms because they have thick skin. And our bonus question. Bonus question. Who produced the movie The Elephant Man, casting his wife in a lead role and hiring director David Lynch, but insisted on going without screen credit to avoid confusing audiences? Who produced the movie The Elephant Man, casting his wife in a lead role and hiring director David Lynch, but insisted on going without screen credit to avoid confusing audiences? The producer of The Elephant Man, who wanted to leave his name off it, was Mel Brooks. That's right. He didn't want people to think it was a comedy. His wife, Anne Bancroft, was the star, of course. The next round is called Top 5. Top 5. This is trivia about shirts. Or tops, I guess. Trivia about shirts. Shirts. First, what two metal bands are honored on Beavis and Butthead's usual t-shirts? What two heavy metal bands are honored on Beavis and Butthead's usual t-shirts? Okay, the answer to number 1. Beavis and Butthead's t-shirts honor who? Metallica and AC/DC, correct. Actually, not in that order, but I'm okay with that. AC/DC and Metallica. Australia? Question 2. Here we go, next question. What famous clipper ship took its name from Scott's words for short shirt in a Robert Burns poem? What famous clipper ship took its name from Scott's words for short shirt in a Robert Burns poem? I'm going to read the answer in 5 seconds. Okay. The famous clipper ship whose name means short shirt. I guess I could have also said it was a potent potable. The answer is Honey Sar. Very nice. Question 3 is not about clipper ships. I'm sure you guys are sad to hear. Aww. What TV show's famed puppy shirt is in the Smithsonian today? What TV show's famed puppy shirt is in the Smithsonian today? Okay, the answer to question 3. The puppy shirt was seen on Seinfeld. Yes, Seinfeld. Question 4. Oh, this is sort of about shirts. It's about red shirts. In 1999, what redshirt freshman became the first Division I football player ever named his league's Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year in the same year? I guess I shouldn't say league, I should say conference. In 1999, what redshirt freshman became the first Division I football player ever named his conference's Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year in the same year? This might be pretty hard. Who was that redshirt freshman, both his conference's Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year? Anybody know this? Michael Vick, I hear. That is correct. Sorry to bring up a sore subject. I'm going to Boston tomorrow, so I can't make any Patriots jokes either. Okay, here's our bonus question. Do not listen to anything I've told you in the past about the bonus question. Only turn it in if you want to wager 10 points for or against. You're getting it right. You will gain 4 points if you're correct. You will lose, 10 points if you're correct. You will lose 10 points if you're not correct. You can stand pat by not turning in. What Thames River town lent its name to the collarless polo shirts first worn by its rowing team? What Thames River town lent its name to the collarless polo shirts first worn by its rowing team? You guys like rowing? Okay, here's the answer. It is now too late to turn these in. The Thames River town that lent its name to collarless polo shirts, it is Henley. Henley-on-Thames. This round is called Weak-Minded, W-E-E-K, Weak-Minded. Here's our first question. What day of the week do the Bangles wish that it was in Manic Monday? In the song Manic Monday, what day of the week do the Bangles wish that it was? The answer to question 1, what day of the week do the Bangles wish it was in the song Manic Monday? The answer is, I wish it was Sunday, that's my fun day. Question 2, another day of the week related question. In 1982, what 7-year-old became Saturday Night Live's youngest host ever? In 1982, what 7-year-old became Saturday Night Live's youngest host ever? In 1982, the 7-year-old who became the youngest guest host in Saturday Night Live history was Drew Barrymore. Here we go. Question number 3. Question number 3. Which of the 2 leads of 1995's Friday did not appear in either of the sequels? Which of the 2 leads of the 1995 movie Friday did not appear in either of the sequels? The answer to question 3. Which of the 2 stars of Friday was not in any of the Friday sequels is Chris Tucker, yes. Ice Cube is, Chris Tucker is not. Question 4. Going a little further back, question 4. What badge number was retired by the LAPD when Jack Joe Friday Webb died in 1982? What badge number was retired by the LAPD when Jack Webb, or Joe Friday, died in 1982? Okay, do you guys know this, or is this hard? What was Joe Friday's badge number? 714, I hear it there and there. Very nice. You guys are either smart or old, or both. Okay, finally, we're going to end this round with our bonus question. I have no idea how these work, so don't listen to me. Here's your bonus question. You may answer it or not for 10 points or minus 10 points. Or none if you don't answer it. 3 of 4 assassinated U.S. presidents, Lincoln, McKinley, and Kennedy, were fatally shot on what day of the week? 3 out of 4 assassinated U.S. presidents, Lincoln, McKinley, and Kennedy, were fatally... Garfield. I'm just kidding. Were fatally shot on what day? He hates Mondays, get it? Were fatally shot on what day of the week? Okay. 3 of 4 U.S. presidents were shot on, anybody? Friday, yes. I can't believe you guys are applauding. These were great men. Lincoln was shot on Good Friday, you might recall. They actually canceled NFL games because Kennedy was shot right before the weekend. Garfield, the 4th one, shot on a Saturday. It is not good to be a U.S. president on a weekend, apparently. A Friday. It was Garfield the Saturday. Okay, we're going to start our, let me see, what is this, 6th round? Is that right? Round 6? Yeah, that's right. Round 6 is called 5 Timers Club. 5 Timers Club.
The skillet team needs to remember to put their number on.
Skillet is not putting its number on its paper, and these guys are getting mad, so listen up, Skillet. I'm hearing a lot of anti-Skillet murmuring up here. Here we go, 5 Timers Club. Do people not have, does everybody have answer stuff? Yes? Okay. First question. Who was married 5 times, though she had children only with her second husband and her third, Sid Luft? who was married 5 times, though she had children only with her second husband and her third, Sid Luft? Here we go. Who was married 5 times, though she only had children with her second husband and her third, Sid Luft? That is Judy Garland. Yes. I'm with you guys. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Question 2. What horror movie title character will appear if you chant his name 5 times in a mirror? What horror movie title character will appear if you chant his name 5 times in a mirror? Okay, the answer to number 2. What horror movie title character appears if you chant his name 5 times in a mirror? Candyman! Yeah. That's a real classic. It's a real classic. Your next question, 5 Timers Club. Whose album, Some Hearts, is the fastest selling debut in country history, having gone 5 times platinum by 2007? Whose album, Some Hearts, is the fastest selling debut in country history, having gone 5 times platinum by 2007? Whose album was the fastest selling debut in country history? Carrie Underwood, yes. Question 4. Here's question 4. Whom, it's going to be grammatically correct, whom did George Steinbrenner hire and fire 5 separate times? Whom did George Steinbrenner hire and fire 5 separate times? Whom did George Steinbrenner hire and fire on 5 separate occasions? Billy Martin, yes. He's manager of the Yankees. Are you guys pretty on topic? Can I go on to the bonus? Okay. And our bonus question of the 5 Timers Club. You can either turn it in or not for 10 points or not. What's being released 5 times a year from January 1999 to fall 2008? What is being released 5 times a year from January 1999 to fall 2008? This time I'm serious. What is being released 5 times a year from fall 1999 to January 2008? Yes, state quarters. State quarters, very nice. We're going to start our 7th and penultimate round. This is called Heart Beeps. Heart Beeps, just like the awesome movie. Heart Beeps. Here's your first question. You guys got it? Nancy Wilson of the band Heart scores the films of what director? Her husband. Nancy Wilson of the band Heart scores the films of what director? Her husband. The answer to question 1. Nancy Wilson is the wife of what director? Cameron Crowe. Great. Anybody else get it? Hey, right here. I see a few happy-looking teens. Very nice. Question number 2 in the category Heart Beeps. How many chambers does the human heart have? How many chambers does the human heart have? The answer is, how many chambers in the human heart? 4. Yes, very good. Very nice. Left and right, atrium and ventricle or something. Question 3. Here's question 3. Who is pictured on a U.S. Purple Heart medal? Who is pictured on a U.S. Purple Heart medal? The answer number 3. Who is pictured on a Purple Heart? What did you say? It's actually Babar, oddly. A lot of people don't know that. Babar is on the Purple Heart. No, it's George Washington. Okay, here's question 4. Question 4 is a bit of a mouthful, and I think it's pretty hard. Though the rest of him lies in Westminster Abbey, what writer's heart is buried near his native Dorchester, the basis of his fictional town of Casterbridge? Though the rest of him lies in Westminster Abbey, what writer's heart is buried near his native Dorchester, the basis of his fictional town of Casterbridge? Good luck. The author whose heart... Oh, anybody else? The author whose heart is buried near Dorchester. The author of The Mayor of Casterbridge is... Anybody? Thomas Hardy. Very nice. Hey, way to go, you guys. Sounds like quite a few people actually remember something from college. And here's your bonus question. You can choose to answer this for 10 points, but risk losing 10. This may be easier than the Thomas Hardy question. Which Smurf has a heart tattooed on each arm? Which Smurf has a heart tattooed on each arm? His English name, not his Belgian name. Which Smurf has a heart tattooed on each arm? Anybody know this? Hefty Smurf, yes. Hefty is the Alpha Smurf. Correct.